so if I'm not mistaken, Rosh Hashanah, we stressed the idea of the alarm and the shofar. Yom Kippur, we spoke how to convert this fast, which is a ritual, a simple ritual, in something meaningful. And here we are in our latest, strongest, most beautiful ritual achievement, which is not a ritual. Where are we?
Well, the first thing we know is we're in Miami in
Sorry,
September.
Ah, good.
So I don't know when the Torah thought of this festival of Sukkot and this
Yeah.
whole idea that it had Miami in mind. I remember the first time I observed Sukkot in New York when I was a student, and I got invited to a Sukkot. It was mid-October, it was a little late that year, and I remember there was a heater in the Sukkot, and I had to wear a jacket. I don't know if the Torah had that in mind either, but for sure, in Jerusalem, Sukkot, Israel, beautiful, beautiful weather. So what's strange to me about the whole thing is we know that the Jewish people had to stay in the desert for 40 years because of the sin of the spies. They didn't believe in themselves. They didn't believe that they could conquer the land of Israel. Negative things were said. They wanted to go back to slavery. So that's a sin. It's a punishment. It was like, go to your room. Yet, Sukkot is a wonderful festival in which we actually do the opposite. We thank God for how He took care of us in the desert. We forget about the punishment.
Nobody will say that to be in this sukkah would be punishment, right?
Now, and this sukkah, which is almost done, it's not completely done. I don't know if they can see it. This sukkah, which Aaron Kluger and Amy Dean, a wonderful family in our congregation, has dedicated because they love the festival of Sukkot, and they've dedicated it because they want people to come out and really enjoy Sukkot. They want to bring their children and their grandchildren and celebrate Sukkot.
Okay, so if you need to convince me that Sukkot still makes sense, we are not more people who live in the land of Israel. Most of us, unfortunately, are not yet there, and we are not an agriculture nation. So what's the meaning of Sukkot today?
Well, the meaning that hit me the most was after Hurricane Andrew, 1992, when I lived in Kendall, and every house in Kendall pretty much was turned into sukkah because we looked up and half our roof was gone, or all our roof was gone. And suddenly I looked up and I said, I actually live in a sukkah. My house has been turned into a sukkah. And when we look around and we see so many things that happen in the world because of the power of nature, which sometimes can work against us, we look around and say, Sukkot reminds us that there's such a temporariness and there's such an arbitrariness to life, so you have a choice. You could sit there and scared and leave Miami because there's hurricanes, or be afraid to go out and always be scared, or you could look and say, okay, let's go outside and have a party. Let's eat and enjoy. We'll be careful, we'll be smart, but we can't be frozen by those type of fears.
It's amazing because I know you for 12 years, and every year when it comes to Sukkot, you remind us your experience with Kendall that I'm sure mark you forever. I have another story with Sukkot, which I lost my dad in a very early age. I was very young, and then the rabbi told me, because it happens close to Sukkot, he says to me, life is like a sukkah. You only have 3 walls. Everyone is missing a wall. And maybe between the hurricane in Kendall that hit and destroyed so many life seasons, but people rebuild themselves, and I can rebuild my life with 3 walls. Maybe that's the message of Sukkot this year. This beautiful place, this beautiful weather, knowing that the maximum you can have 3 walls. And you know what? And that's okay.
And what's interesting about the 3 walls, if there's one wall open, what it really says is, come in, come in. When you approach somebody's house, if the doors are all locked, the windows are locked, you kind of knock on the door, you ring the bell, and you wait. But I grew up where during the day, because every neighbor knew each other, we didn't have air conditioning in the beginning. We didn't close the doors. We had a screen door because the mosquitoes weren't welcome. But the screen door was there and the main door was open, and you always felt that that home was your home. And it created a fantastic sense of neighborhood. So what the sukkah says to everybody is, come on in, we'll celebrate together.
But when you have 3 walls, you can only look at the next sukkah, and what do you find? 3 walls. But that's the only reality. Right. So Chag Sameach.
Chag Sameach. Enjoy Sukkot, and we look forward to many of their congregants celebrating our brand new sukkah for the first time this year. And we thank our family, the Kluger family, for making this a much more beautiful place for us to celebrate our Sukkot festival.
Amen,
Chag
amen,
Sameach.
amen, amen.